honest. Elliot Callawi here coming towards us. Probably the only other one at the moment riding, apart from Henke, of course, who's been around a long time as well, though he's no spring chook, Henke Engblom, but he's not riding today. But Elliot would have to be the outstanding up-and-coming young rider here. And he's learning an awful lot from Christopher and Nicholas. Christopher learned everything there. Christopher's not even 30 yet. Christopher learned everything he knows from me and Nicholas Lopp. But race riding, he learned it from over jumps. He really learned. There he is. That's Christopher there, and number 3, French Warrior. And he hasn't had as good a season this year now as he's been having. And that's number 4. That is this Lars-Åke Engström, whoever he is. I really don't know. Excuse my ignorance. But he claims 4, and he doesn't look like a spring chook. That is Elliot. Elliot's just not even I don't know if he's even in his 20s yet. Very promising. Confident young man, just like his younger sister, Alina, who won the amateur race. Lars-Åke Engström. I'm sure he can ride, though. I hope he can anyway. So he rode this horse way back in August at Gothenburg, was 4th by many, many, many lengths. And this race is off in 7 minutes, so they're just about to go out. That's Elliot and Callawi to lead them out. You're allowed to carry a stick in jump racing, but you're not allowed to use it, of course, up here in Norway. Same in actually all of Scandinavia. Well, there's no jumping anymore in Denmark, but in Sweden as well, you can carry the stick, but you can't use it. But if in case of danger of a horse trying to run out at a jump, at least you can smack it on the shoulder and ride it forward instead of just trying to hang on, because that's all you can do without a stick. And they go out on the grass here. Callawi. Tobias Helgren trains. Tobias is an absolute up-and-coming trainer, and proving his worth again and again. And he's gone from a small stable that he has with jockey Anna Pilroth to, I think, about 25 horses or so. And a quick run down here to show the horses the first hurdle. Favourite there, Bright Spark on the inside of Callawi. I think it's a bit of an ass to get French Warrior here, who's only who's having his first run over jumps. Mind you, I think, being French, he has won a hurdle race or run in one in France. So put him in there, folks, especially with Christopher riding. And he'll be fit. Coming from Bent Olsen's yards, and he's been running over 2-4, and was second by a head to Paris Pearl at home at Klampenborg. But I think the form horse, well, it is Bright Spark and Callawi. I'm worried then about your guy there riding Bosman's Ladder. He rides very, very long, and it's just not conducive to riding over jumps. I sometimes help with passing riders to be allowed to get a license to ride over jumps, and that's the first thing I knock, is they're riding too long. If they're riding too long and they're no way capable of jockeying up a small bit, then they've no chance. You can't hold horses, and then if they make a mistake, he'll fall off as well. Just turning to go, oi, Christopher. Very close there. Horse nearly whipped around on him, but good reactions. And it's Callawi who lead them towards the practice. And they're going fairly slow now, so bang, bang, lovely jump. Whoa. All giving it plenty of daylight there. And that's grand, no mistakes. And Callawi, as I say, ballooning over it, as was. I wouldn't be worried about French Warrior. He can lift his legs off the ground. That'll do me. And I know he's ridden a runner race over jumps in France way back somewhere along the way before he came over to Denmark to Bent Olsen. And he's now the second favourite behind Bright Spark. Jockey-wise, it's Christopher. Horse-wise, probably Bright Spark Callawi. But I don't know. As I say, French Warrior, it's going to be interesting. Just the 4 runners. 2:22 now for Bright Spark. 2:52 for 3 French Warrior. Won't be hard to get them going here. They're down the back straight. That's the road there, so they'll come. And they've 2 hurdles to jump. Kevin Parkin and Bright Spark. Looks like he's going to make it as well. He's kicking his way forward. And tentative start. And Bright Spark is the one to jump away, and in company then with number 4, Bossman's Ladder. In third, French Warrior, and last is Callawi. Gave a couple of lengths away there, free gratis, which is not ideal, and they head now towards the first hurdle, which is on the uphill ground. And here they come towards the first in this particular race, and bang, everybody over nice and tidy, and that is Bossman's Ladder fractionally now in front. On the inside is the favourite, that's Bright Spark, and on his outside is a French Warrior and Callawi bringing up the rear for the moment. They meet the second then at the top of the hill nearly now, and still giving a bit of daylight. Callawi not quite jumping that slick, and they start to make the climb now up to the very top here before they start to swing towards the straight. There's 3 on the straight, and the first one they meet down the straight comes actually quite quickly off this bend, and here they come now to start to sweep on downwards, and it's Bossman's Ladder who shows the way, number 4, and going on his outside there was Callawi, and on his inside then it is French Warrior, and farthest in it is Bright Spark, the favourite, and this is the first of 3 up the straight. So here they come, nearly 4 in a row, and they meet it there, and the third horse over was French Warrior, but jumping beautifully is Bright Spark, the favourite in orange. On his outside is French Warrior, farther out again Bossman's Ladder, and farthest out is Callawi, and it's now Bright Spark who looks to be taking it up as they meet the second up the straight, and he's hugging the rail here. Kevin Parkin and Bright Spark in company there with French Warrior, who's a little bit awkward over it, and as a result loses a length or so. Bossman's Ladder has now gone into second, and then in joint third would be Callawi and the turquoise of French Warrior. One more to jump here as they come up towards it now, and this is the last up the straight, and giving it plenty of air in front was Callawi, or was Bright Spark, and also the other horse French Warrior, who's currently last. As they go on now past the winning post, they've got 1 full circuit still left to go. Number 4 comes back up there to join and actually go up in front, Bossman's Ladder. They start to make their bend here now, and soon they will be meeting the first of the 3 down the back straight. So that is Bright Spark has gone back into the lead. On his outside is Bossman's Ladder in second. They're tracked by Callawi, and then following by number 3 French Warrior, who's the back marker as they come off this bend now, and they straighten up to meet the first down the back. And Bright Spark, the big favourite here, being given a confident ride by Kevin Parkin, meets the first, wings over it, and a beautiful jump out the back there by number 3 French Warrior. In second now Callawi jumped into second there, and number 4 Bossman's Ladder still keeps out wide, and going down his inside is number 3 French Warrior, who's tracking the other 2. So they're going to come down now into the dip. They'll start to make the climb then, and they meet the second of 3 down the back straight here, and still it is Bright Spark. They're keeping to the rail. On his outside Callawi, farther out it's Bossman's Ladder, and skipping over it there in fourth is French Warrior as they start to make up now towards the top of the third one up the top here, and that is number 5 Bright Spark, who will come and bring them into it in front. Callawi on his outside, and then just being kicked into it there, and that was French Warrior at this stage still staying out very, very wide. That is Bossman's Ladder, and he's been adding a couple of 100 metres to his trip around here as they start to make their way up to the top of the hill. And it is the favourite Bright Spark who's going to try bidding to bid on his win last time out at Gothenburg when ridden by Nicholas Leven, and he's leading them off this top bend now as they make their way to the first up the straight. So that is a Bright Spark. On his outside then, and ridden is Callawi, farther out then Bossman's Ladder, and tracking the leader it is number 3 French Warrior. So the first of the 3, and skip over they go, and at this stage Christopher's still not asking for anything, and he's trying to nurse French Warrior quietly into this race, but Bright Spark now tries to kick away from the field. They've got 2 furlongs left to go and 2 more hurdles still to jump, and that's Bright Spark in orange. Between horses, it is number 3 French Warrior. On his outside is Callawi, and now they come to cross the road. They've got 1 more to jump. On the inside, Bright Spark. On his outside is French Warrior, who's been brought up and produced beautifully. Whoever jumps this now, the best is going to win it. And it is in front, just in front. Bang! Oh, bad jump there. Not a great jump by Bright Spark, but he gets away all the same quite fast. But here comes French Warrior now. Can he bear down on him? It's going to be tight to the line, but it is going to be Bright Spark who holds on. Bright Spark from French Warrior and Callawi. So the favourite holds on to win. Job well done there. And here we go to jump. Coming down towards the last. And as I say, whoever jumps this, the best is going to win it. And very untidy, actually, for the favourite. But he goes and he gets away quite quickly from it, though. And closing in, and who can't get closer, though, that is the second horse home, which was French Warrior. But it is the favourite, Bright Sparks.